Hi, welcome to week 8, how to get your horse to come to you and stand at the mounting block. So one of the things that I think is most dangerous for a lot of people is actually getting on their horse. I remember many years ago we had one horse. Once you were on, you were as safe as anything, but getting on was always the issue. Because we're in a very vulnerable position as we swing our leg over. We might have one foot in the stirrup, we might not have our balance yet. So if our horses aren't waiting, it can have quite disastrous consequences. The other thing is, it's just really frustrating if you have to get on and you always need someone to stand and hold your horse for you, or you can only get on at the yard mounting block and your horse isn't able to be mounted from anything when you're out and about. And what I most commonly see is that this is because people put in a lot of effort to stand their horse, position it at the block, and then they go around, climb up, start having a load of commotion, and then their horse either drifts forward or turns to look at them and see if it's going to get a treat. So the horses start creating a pattern and a habit, and they think that that's what they're supposed to be doing. Some horses are also associating being mounted with being made to get going. They've not had enough time of just being allowed to relax and find comfort at the mounting block. So from a young age, I've encouraged Bear to have rest sessions at the mounting block, and I've also moved it around in the arena. I'd always keep it in the same place by the wall. And actually, at the very beginning, we did quite a lot of having it in an open space, so that if he did get worried, he didn't feel trapped. Another strategy I've seen a lot of people use is trying to park the horse between the block and the wall. And what that can do is create a sense of learned helplessness, and that the horse feels trapped. So for some horses, they will accept that broken down way of, okay, I can't go that way, I can't go that way, you won't let me go forward, you're not letting me go back, so I guess I should stand here. But it can also actually create anxiety, and it doesn't really help our horse learn that it can trust us, and that because we're not allowing them to have a choice or opinion, we're not seeing what they actually understand about standing at the block. So if my horse was having a lot of problems with the block, my first point would be to start using the block as an obstacle in the arena that they can go to and find treats, relaxation, rest. So I might do some lunging, or have them going over poles and jumps and things, and then bring them to the block just to have a rest. Same if my horse is anxious every time it sees a saddle coming. I could use this approach by having the saddle on a stand in the middle of the arena. So in this way, we start breaking that association that the horse has got, that the block means pressure and work, and starts becoming a place that they associate with relaxing. Once they then have a spot that they associate with relaxing, it's amazing how quickly just coming to the block calms the horse down. Now that he's comfortable with standing at the block, I'm going to also check that he understands to come to me. So can I get him to bring himself over? And this is connected to the bonus challenge that we had in week 7. So if you haven't seen that video already, it could be a really useful one to see, because quite often we need to draw our horse towards us, and that happens by putting a little pressure just on the other side of the horse. If they don't understand that, when you're trying to stand still on a block and get them to come over, it can be very difficult. I have seen other trainers that use tapping their horse on the near side, and then rewarding when the horse comes towards them. That is perfectly fine if that's your style. The problem is that I use tapping on the near side to me, move away from me. And so I don't really want to create confusion for my horse as to whether or not he should be moving away or towards. It already can be quite confusing enough for them. So we try and keep things as black and white as possible. But the idea is that your horse will learn whatever cue you give them, as long as you constantly and consistently release as they do the right thing, and that you keep some form of pressure up when they're not quite doing the right thing. So what you want is that they are looking for that comfort. If you're more into positive reinforcement, and I'm very, very big on positive reinforcement, I like to use voice cues as well. So I will ask my horse to come over, good boy, and give him a reward. And so you can see how I'm using the concept of releasing pressure, taking away something that my horse finds less desirable when they get the right thing, and also adding something that they do find desirable when they get the right thing. And then making it a pattern that at the end of my sessions, and we've been practicing doing this on both sides, which is why he's now presented me with this side, that I will come to the block, boy, and we'll just rest together. Now I want him to go the other way. I'm going to send him around. Walk on. Good boy. Sit the hind end, bring his head in towards me. And as you'll see from, just like in last week's video, bringing his head towards me is easy. And then work on bringing his hindquarters over as well. Good boy. When he's in that right position, he gets rubs, he gets relaxation. If I want to be more particular, I want you to bring one foot forward, good boy. And then I'm just going to rub on him, really let him, and I'm waiting for him to sigh, to lick and chew. He's looking for a treat. You can see that he's very interested in what we're doing. He's offering a lot and participating. And this is what I want. And this is why just after I started riding him again following Titus's birth, we went for a ride on the farm, and I had to get off because he was having some trouble with a hill that we'd come across. We went for a walk in hand, and then I wanted to get back on for the rest of the ride home. And the only place we could find to mount was a really wobbly gate. But because we've done so much of me standing on things and him coming to me, he was able to cope with that idea. He didn't need me to position him and then worry about me clambering on this wobbly gate. He was fine with the gate wobbling. I've practiced that he can cope with me doing stuff, jumping about. That if he's that he's more curious rather than worried by what I'm doing. So that we're always having this idea that no matter what is going on, he just has, this is his place to relax and stand still. That means also when I get on him, that I just take a moment to stand. I often bend, give him treats. We spend some few seconds just standing still before we go anywhere. The other thing that I like to do when I do get on is ask for backup. The reason I'm not getting on at the moment is that we're still getting Bear checked out for a physical issue. I want to make sure that he's really comfortable before I get on him. So if your horse is having trouble with standing still at the block and you've had this level of ground training already, it may well be that there is a physical issue and that they're anticipating pain. when they're being mounted. So it's definitely something to be aware of. But if you've already ruled out pain as a problem and your horse is just notorious for not standing still at the block, it's probably because they're not in the habit of using the block as a stopping place and as a place for being parked. And so that means you probably need to go back more to this step and then start building. So yeah, even though I'm coming towards and I'm throwing my arm over and I can reach over and lean on him, that he still knows that his job is to stand still here at the block. Thank you very much. If your horse turns into you too much and they're often looking for treats, another thing you can do is actually offer them the treat from the other side. So then they can feel you. As their ribs come, they'll lean their ribs on you. They've got that reassurance, especially if you've got something like a wall behind you. It's a little bit precarious if you've got a horse that's a bit bargy. So you might find that you need to be able, you might start on a lower block if your horse is inclined to be quite swingy, so that you can have a quickly step off, correct them, send them away so that they understand that if they knock you and when they come towards you, that the correct answer is to then move away. They shouldn't shove straight through you. And sometimes, especially young horses, they will do that just because they're still learning their bubble, their strength. They don't realise that we're wobbly little humans on two legs on standing on a precarious block. So we need to be patient and be sensible about setting that up so that we can not get cross with them when they do the wrong thing, but just, you did that wrong. So, oh, you're coming too close. I'm going to get off and just help you to remember to yield away when you feel me. Good boy. I hope that's useful to you. If you've got any questions, do put them in with the comments to this video. And I look forward to hearing your stories, and hopefully this is going to be something that's going to help those of you with young horses that are preparing them for riding, and those of you with older horses that have maybe developed some bad habits. Good luck, everyone.